It's time to spread some of that Lego love and give a shout out to NickiBricks, a Lego Star Wars fan who's definitely not afraid to give an opinion on their reviews, and showing love to the little sets, and not to mention skills with the bricks. This was not a paid advertisement for the Cali Bricklet, but I agree that the microfiber Razor Crest was pretty bad.
You're always, you know how many times you're in each episode?
Now people are going to be wondering what is this?
All right, perfect.
Hello and welcome back to Cali Bricklet. We are officially on episode 69. Enjoy that as you will. Exciting stuff. And for our 69th episode, we have brought on
The love stud.
this guy in the back, but most importantly, Lego.joey is here with us.
Hello.
Oh yeah, got it. And then, but SHYtimeisMytime and Ninja are always here with us. But
Yeah, we're always here.
No, we're not important at all.
no, not really. But more importantly, if you guys want to hear any of our previous episodes, please check us out on all the platforms that support podcasts like Apple Podcast and Spotify and all the good stuff. And Shy has been encouraging people to leave comments and reviews and stuff there so we can get some engagement. Has that been working at all? Is that
I have no idea. Actually, I haven't been checking.
Cool. Also, please enjoy our Cali Bricklet Instagram that Shy has been posting on. Shy does everything except Ninja does
Ninja's
the
helping.
Yeah,
Ninja
I
had-
post some things.
Oh, you post something? Okay,
From the
cool.
shadows,
Yeah.
though.
All
I
I
think you'll know,
do-
though.
All I do is get like notifications because like I set up the Instagram so it like says like someone's logged into your account from a different location, and I'm like, oh god, what is? And I panic for like a hot second, but it's just Shy or
Does
Ninja.
it do that with the
I think the
email
same
too?
Yeah, it's
Mhm.
it's okay though. But I just have to see what account it's for because I have like multiple, and it's fine. But
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
anyway, yeah. And then Sans is here.
Oh, that was like perfect timing.
That was
beautiful.
dope. I'm feeling that.
But anyway, we're really excited to bring on Joey, and we're going to talk a little bit about Lego designing, working for Merlin, and most importantly, being from California.
Yeah.
So what's going on with Lego? I think recently we have like some Jurassic Park sets that have been released.
Yeah, I bought 4 of them already.
Which
Me
ones did you buy? Like the
I got-
play sets or just the diorama?
Well, I got the Diorama too, but I got 3. I got the the blue and her daughter, and then the Triceratops, and then the Pteranodon one. Those are all 3 sets that Ezra picked out, and then I just wanted the Diorama. So
Oh, that's
For
right.
yourself.
yeah, for
It's
myself.
cool.
That one's
I'm
dope.
so excited about these dioramas, like as a Lego theme or not theme or like set delivery system.
The Star Wars? You're talking about Star Wars dioramas?
Star Wars diorama, this diorama. I think it's cool. Shy, you don't seem particularly interested.
I mean, the Star Wars ones are dope. I'm
Mhm.
not gonna pick any of them up. I'm just like right
One
now, I'm
one?
like so hurting for space that like I have to really want it to like buy it. And the Jurassic Park one was like the diorama for the year that I'm
You
Yeah,
don't,
okay
that's-
with
I
purchasing.
forgot about that one.
you don't really want Yoda's hut?
Nah, why?
You guys just asked each other the same
Dang.
question.
No, I don't. I don't want to. I don't want Yoda's hut. Also,
Yeah,
the
Yoda's
land
hut,
speeder
so-
and all that just got leaked thanks to Australia. So officially, we can talk about it.
What does
But-
that mean? Thanks to Australia.
Well, I think it's like
Don't give him credit.
it's officially out now. So I'm so happy for May the 4th because I don't want any of it, and I'm not going to spend a
What
dime.
about in Peru?
Welcome to my
I
world.
don't care. I don't want any of it.
The Lars Homestead
Yeah,
Kitchen.
Yeah, I don't want any of it. I don't want the kit. I don't want the promo. I don't want the poly bag. I definitely don't want the set.
I think
Yes.
I'm happy.
well-
I'm happy. You have no idea. It's the first May the 4th where I'm not like I need to get to the store right away or I need to like wake up like at midnight to order anything. I'm just like I don't want that. I don't want that. I definitely don't want that. Cool.
and it's bringing you joy. That's good.
It makes me
That's good.
happy. I'm like I don't need to buy anything.
Well, that means like Shy, you're getting into the space where like not buying Lego is bringing you joy.
Yes. Well, I don't know about that. I mean, I found a reason to want Ezra to have 3 of these Jurassic Park sets.
Mhm.
So I didn't as a parent need to buy him 3. I was suffice with 1.
It was a lesson taught, though, right?
Yeah, of course.
Didn't he have to earn it?
Yes, he did earn the one of the Jurassic Park sets, which so we found last Saturday we found a set like out on for sale at Barnes and Nobles, and it was the blue and the daughter one. I forget what it's called, the blue and beta Velociraptor capture. It's like right in front of me. Anyways, Ezra like spent his entire couple days like cleaning the house, doing like little minor chores, things like that. And I've been trying to teach him, responsibility and earning stuff and money. So he saved up about like $10, and I was gonna pay the rest. But like, he found it and he wanted to spend his money on that, and then it's street dated. Long story short, we weren't allowed to buy it, and his heart was like broken. Like, oh my god, like
Do better, Target.
like he made literally all the tellers, the managers, and everyone that was waiting in line tear up on how heartbroken he was, because you could just he wasn't like throwing a tantrum like, why can't I get, he wasn't doing any of that. He wasn't bawling out. You could just see it in his eyes that he was genuinely crushed.
Probably didn't understand too. He's like,
No,
I
he didn't understand what a street day was, because I was just like, because the manager was telling me what it was, and I was playing dumb. But I was just like, can you explain it to him? Because no matter what I tell him, it's not gonna like.
Okay,
Dang.
on the parenting on the.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it on her, because like I'm like, it's not my fault that you put it on the shelf. Like, how do you? It's
Dang,
not at all. It's not my fault. You put it on the shelf for sale. A child picks it.
You gotta deal with that. Yeah, that's right.
And what does Lego.joey think of the new sets that are out?
Well, when we were talking
Thank you, Lego.joey. Next topic.
about Star Wars dioramas, back on that topic, I think they're kind of boring, to be honest. I'll be
What?
those kind of
Thank
sets,
you.
they just
Thank you,
sit
Joey.
there, and I don't think that's very fun.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Can we look at
What?
the sets behind your, or whatever's behind your head? What is just sitting there?
Are
All of the Lego behind you, is that just sitting there?
Is that mobile?
Right now
Yeah.
it is, but I can go pick
Is
it up
that-
and swoosh it around if I want to.
Oh,
Swooshability. That
you
is a
can
thing.
take
Yeah.
the 1/12 of Luke's X-wing and swoosh it around.
He's a ship.
What 12?
You're a ships guy.
Yeah.
It's a ship.
Yeah.
Well, that's a perfect transition as well into you.
I also
as
did get some of the Jurassic Park stuff for fun.
So you're not feeling any of the dioramas released within the past month or announced?
No, well, I did get the Jurassic Park one because I like the explorers in the Jurassic Park colors. Those are kind of
Yes.
cool. We talked for a moment about the Yoda's hut, which is kind of the same set as the $30 one that came out a couple years ago, except now they're charging $100 for it, and you get
It's
But
got
One-
there's shrubbery.
18
to
plus.
It, and
18 plus.
from an
yeah.
X-Wing.
piece of an X-wing.
It's like almost the same minifigs too. You're paying,
Isn't there a
more
tile
than
in there
$350.
somewhere?
if anyone out there is unclear of the overreaction from our
Overreaction. I
guest
said
number
nothing.
2, Yoda is kind of the untouchable, I guess, in this house. Yeah, to the point that do you want to pull over our recent Yoda acquisition?
Oh yeah, Ryan sent me a picture of what he got for you.
No, the one that we have to buy something to put it on.
Oh, where is that?
It's in. I'll go get it.
Oh,
Okay.
I don't know where it-
Wait, okay, hold on. No,
Cut.
can you explain what's happening?
Is there a Yoda shrine? Is that what's up?
Not yet. I'm working on it. I do need,
It's
if any
kind
of
of-
you are familiar with anyone that might own a 3 to 5 year old ranged mannequin, like size of a 3 to 5 year old, that I would appreciate it.
That's
You have
very
like a Yoda
specific.
costume to put on it?
No.
Actually, I have a baby Yoda costume. Oh, it doesn't have
Baby?
the mask. No, not baby, but like for my son, a baby-sized actual Yoda. We don't play that baby Yoda stuff over here.
kind of like standing in the back or something.
Yeah.
Are you gonna have it like a mannequin up, or are you gonna be wearing
No, I want to get a child sized mannequin and slap it on
So
it.
it's gonna be
Oh,
like
son.
Tupac with
Yes.
Josh Bill stuff.
But it won't
No.
have a voice because it'll be
No,
it'll
it's
just be Yoda.
nothing like Josh from Josh Build Stuff. Please stop promoting Josh from Josh Build Stuff. Josh from Josh's Build Stuff doesn't need any more promotion.
What about Josh from Josh Buys Stuff?
Is that his next channel?
I don't know. I think it's like a sub channel.
Oh.
You got to be plugged in, I guess.
This is like
Members
Josh
only.
built stuff like canon or lore, you know.
Mhm, exactly.
I'm glad we're talking about Josh of Josh's Build Stuff
When-
and not Lego.joey.
Oh, no.
Lego.joey Build
Well,
Stuff.
okay, so I want to get into that. Is like
Build stuff.
if you guys aren't familiar with like Joey's creations, I guess.
Yes.
Okay, so so you do a lot of ships, Joey, and you do it with like parts that are atypical to doing ships. Like you'll grab like obscure, Duplo parts or something, and I know we've talked about this before, and it'll like inspire you to do an extension of it. There's like lots of color. It's very visually pleasing. It's very cool. We went to the Fifth Avenue store opening of the Lego store, which was like super fun. And then we got to reconnect again last year at Brick Fair, Virginia, where we actually saw his mocks and were thoroughly impressed. Even this one, who's like not particularly
You
impressed.
use Mega Block in it, so
Just
You know
one.
what?
Nice.
There was one, right? There was one that had a Mega Block piece, right?
You can't let him win. Why can't you let
the
him win?
big Halo bubble shield.
Yeah, those ones.
Nice. F the
But
system.
Lego came up with
Cancel.
their version of that piece now, so maybe I can
On
change it.
what?
No,
Wait, which
no,
one?
they're not.
The new lunar base has the
yeah,
moon
yeah.
base thing with
The dome?
all the canopies.
They just don't look as good as those Mega Block pieces, though.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
I know. Yeah.
I mean, the reason I used those back then is because Lego didn't have anything like that, and now they kind of do. So maybe I should.
Back then, that was 8 months ago.
No,
I
I think
built that like a year and a half ago.
yeah, Joey, do you want to talk about like a little bit of your inspiration and like because you've been mock building for a long time, right? Like even
That's sort of true. I've been, into Lego my whole life pretty much, like as long as I can remember. But I was always more of like a collector. I was that kid who would build it and leave it and never take it apart. And
Interesting. And you don't like the dioramas.
So why is Yoda's hut not worthy of your time?
But we got to hear more. That was when he was a kid.
It's not my taste.
What are you supposed to mean?
But maybe like 2 years ago, I started taking mock building more seriously because I had, a huge collection of parts, and I was always inspired by stuff I saw on Instagram and Flickr, and I was like, I can build my own stuff. I've been at this for long enough. I've built enough sets. I know what I would like to see, and so I just started building things that I like, and I started my Instagram account right at the same time, just to kind of share what I was building. I kept at it. I was, unemployed during the pandemic, so I had a bunch of time just to build all day, and that was actually really good for starting my career, kind of, because this was after I had recently graduated from college with a design degree, and wasn't really doing anything meaningful with it yet. And so during my time in school, I knew that I wanted to work in toys and in Lego specifically. If I could, that was always the dream. So I started building and putting my stuff out there. And I can kind of say that I have the job that I have now because of my Instagram, because
yeah.
I made connections with some of the people that I work with now, and the person who's actually my boss.
He saw your Instagram profile.
Yeah, he saw my
It's
Instagram.
so it makes sense. It's still so funny to think about it because like at least like when I graduated with a design degree, you have to have a portfolio. So you have to have a visual representation of the work that you do. And it's just the delivery system at the time was different. It was either a physical portfolio, which is like how you would apply to graduate school, or if you had, or you could also send it, but it's very expensive to do that, or you would set up a website for yourself. And now I think you still need to do the website, but I think also your social media, they ask for that. The people like see it as a reflection of your design capacity as well. It's like the way that not just what you're taking photos of, but the way that you post them and the way that you style your grid or whatever it is a reflection of you as a designer in theory. So,
yeah, so I had like an industrial design portfolio that I was, submitting with my job applications to. Actually, I applied to jobs at Legoland, California, and kind of different Lego positions all over the place, and of course, different industrial design type jobs. But that portfolio it didn't really have anything in it that I was super passionate about, So it just felt like something that I was supposed to have and turn in for my degree. And for the Lego jobs that I was applying for, I didn't have much in my portfolio that was Lego. And I was just thinking about that, like I should have more Lego in there. That's what I
want
love.
to do Lego. I should have some Lego. Yeah.
Right.
Start doing more of that. And
I know. I feel like you see a lot of people who are like, I'd love to be a Lego designer. And then you're like, okay, well, what mocks have you built or what are you designing lately? And they're like, oh no, I just like built sets. Well, it's like, well, you gotta, if you want to do it, you always try something.
Yeah, you gotta step outside the set.
Joey, do you want to talk a little bit about like where you're working now and how long you've been there and your jump there? Because I think this is really interesting. By the way, you're the first person on here that has ever been in this position, so it's kind of a nice refresh. Usually we have like Lego YouTubers and nobody needs to hear what Ryan thinks. So it's nice to have you here.
Cold-blooded.
Okay, so I work in the model shop at Legoland, New York. I'm a model shop technician.
Nice.
That's like the technical name of my position. You can call me a master model builder.
You won't. No, continue.
I'm one of the 7 on the model shop team there, and we spend all day just building the Lego that goes out in the park for people to come and visit.
So like when you go to like miniland, or when you like walk around and there's like the statues everywhere, that's like your hand has something to do with that. And like,
Yeah.
are you part of like a specific area, or does everyone kind of share responsibility?
We all take responsibility for everything that's there. I feel like I add a lot of what I want to be in Miniland. Since moving here to New York, I've taken a lot of trips into the city, and pretty much every time I'm there, I'll see things, especially like artwork and sculptures and things, be like I should build that for Miniland. We should have that in Miniland, and I'll come back to work and I'll build it, and it'll go in Miniland then.
That's
So they give you like creative freedom like that. So you're like, I just want to add this statue right here. They'll let you do that.
Yeah, it's pretty great to kind of just
Nice.
have the freedom to build whatever I think belongs in Miniland. I'll take reference photos of stuff that I want to add. I'll show it to my boss and be like, "Hey, can I build this?" And most of the time, his answer is just like, "Yeah, go for it."
Oh, nice.
Is your Miniland covered? So we just recently went to the one in Orlando, and they just newly got like a very
yeah. We took a trip there with the model shop just a couple weeks ago, and we got to see the new shade structure. We don't have anything like that, but that was really cool. So
it's cool. I think
maybe in the future.
I don't think it could hold the snow load.
No.
you could. I don't know. You could probably engineer it.
Yeah, that's something that's different about our park, is that we have to deal with like extreme weather conditions during the winter, snow and the cold and all that.
Yeah, but like, what are you gonna just let
Not something you experience in Florida or California.
They do.
Right. So is that on you?
Buried in snow every winter. It all just stays out there and gets buried.
How does the freeze thaw process affect your models?
It doesn't. We actually, we did a little bit of research about what kind of cold can affect Lego, and it doesn't really.
So you're telling me that Lego and the glue that you use to bind the bricks is more structurally sound than concrete or tar on the roads?
No. I didn't say that.
No.
Then I go back to my previous
No.
question. How does the freeze thaw process affect the Lego
It doesn't.
sculptures?
It doesn't go through the same wear and tear.
The snow freezes and thaws around the Lego, and it doesn't.
Doesn't it expand the bricks and break them apart and damage to them?
No.
It's interesting.
No, it doesn't. I call shenanigans. Continue. That's fine.
Part of the magic, Sans.
If anyone is curious, like please check out Lego.joey's
I do
Instagram,
have some pictures in there of what Miniland looks like in the snow.
because I was going to say I feel like you should post that, and I was like, wait, I think I remember you posting
Can we get
that.
before and after pictures of the freeze thaw process on the effect of the Lego bricks?
Since when were you interested in melting point? Someone has been living in
Steep.
California too long. He just got back from Ohio, and it snowed there for like a day, so he was reintroduced to the product recently.
So
I wouldn't say reintroduced.
So do you think
Yeah.
you almost have like more freedom? Like if you were to be like a Lego designer, let's say Billund, you might have like a couple ideas and you could like pitch them and stuff like that. But like statistically speaking, it sounds like you get to do more of your own creative sourcing than maybe like a designer over there. I'm not sure. The only designer we've talked to doesn't work there anymore, so he's delegitimized. No, I'm joking, by the way.
Why are you throwing shade towards Tiago?
That's what we just throw shade here. That's what we do. Maybe if you watch some of our episodes.
Maybe it is.
I think that does make
No plug.
sense. They probably have like a little bit more like restrictions about what they get to do. I kind of get to do whatever I want, and I feel like the pacing, especially like they might spend months working on a set or something. I don't know. Like,
well, yeah. I mean, I think
but for me, like I'm doing something different every day.
right. I think it's like they're doing like a consumer product, right? While you're doing more of like a visual sculpture. Like it's not something that's played with. It's not something that's like, even though like it has to deal
They
with.
are not.
You would hope it doesn't get played with, right? But
Yeah, well, yeah,
that's
yeah.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
right in there.
No, but like you have to endure the elements, but the elements are theoretically like rain and snow versus like grubby little hands.
But people do go into Miniland and
Yeah, how often does that happen? They just
every
like
day, all the time.
every day I'm getting
What,
I
do
can see
those
that.
people get kicked off the park?
Nope.
Are they
Okay,
adults?
I'm gonna do it on Friday because I'm going to Legoland on
Oh,
Friday.
Wait, are
I'm
they
gonna
adults
run
or
through
children?
No, that's all we can say is
I'm just kidding.
please stay out of Miniland.
Please stay out of
Wait. Is it children or is it also adults doing it?
Mostly children, but some adults have gone in for like
Are
photos.
you surprised? Of course.
I could.
Like, hey,
I never.
get my picture real quick. Let me go in there.
Joey, are your commissions opened as a master model builder, as you call yourself?
Yeah,
Mhm.
are you allowed to like design? So like, have you ever been hired to like design something? Are you allowed to?
Yeah. I have freedom to do like commissions and stuff if I want to.
cool.
Do you accept commissions on a pro bono basis?
Gonna need compensation for that kind of thing.
Yeah,
Well,
you're an artist. You should be compensated for
That's right.
something like that.
well, no.
Is there a trade-off? Like,
Yeah, you
you know,
can.
is there a barter system there? How about that?
What do you do?
You want to
How
shout
do you-
out?
I know Sans has tried to convince Joey to start a YouTube channel. At one point, I definitely overheard that conversation.
It wasn't much of a convincing. I just said you should make a video, and you said okay. There was no convincing.
That's where.
I'm still thinking about it. I just haven't gotten around to it.
Well,
I would like to start making some kind of video content.
I think. I mean, like, yeah, that's the
Maybe
hard.
a TikTok.
Can we dissect that
No.
for a second? No, let's dissect that thought for a second.
Something
So
like that.
it's already known that Lego employees who actually work from Lego have to be very restrictive with what they can and cannot do, right? Or at least be wary of what they do.
Man.
Shout out to Boone for actually becoming a senior Lego designer. So if anyone knows that doesn't know that, Boone just became officially employed by Lego as a senior Lego designer, and he's moving to Billin. Sold all of his Lego, but we don't know the capacity of what his social media presence will be from
He
now on.
sold his Lego.
Yeah, gave away and sold his Lego to all the friends, or his friends in the Northeast around his
Wow.
area.
Northwest.
Northwest. Yeah.
He has an
Around the
unlimited
Portland area.
supply.
Well, because he's moving. I mean, you're gonna carry that. I don't know. I don't know why. He just. So there's a difference between Lego and Merlin. Can you explain what Merlin is for those that don't know?
Merlin Entertainments is the company that I work for that owns the Legoland parks.
So at one point, Merlin bought Legoland and now hold the property for it, right?
Right. They operate the theme.
But
So-
Lego does own a majority share of stock in Merlin, correct?
I believe so.
Okay.
Have-
You know, Joey, usually when people are brought on to have conversations,
Don't listen.
interview style, they have some sort of information to give. They don't have to
Sorry.
be handheld and fed the information by other
Sounds like
parties.
you're the one with all the info here.
Right.
Well, then why am I not the special guest?
What I was getting at
Two
is
guests at
that
once, isn't
you
it?
have freedom to kind of explore social media as a Merlin
Yeah.
Merlin employee. So you're able to become like a YouTuber, like openly,
Mhm.
and discuss what you do, which is actually pretty cool. Like you kind of, with limitations, you can explain what you do and how you do it. Whereas a Lego employee, not so much. You can't really say anything about what you do behind closed doors.
I mean, he's still representing Merlin in a way, right?
Of course,
Like,
but that's as any wasn't any of our professions. So we wouldn't say, he wouldn't say anything that anything that would be damning to him. We're just putting it out there that this is totally different. Merlin and Lego are not the same thing. So
Mhm.
you want to do YouTube? Is what Sans is going back to?
yes. Well,
Potentially.
his
All
stuff is legitimately good.
Thank you.
Is there somewhere we can find your stuff right now?
Yeah, you know,
Yeah,
plug
I'm on-
yourself.
I'm on
Plug yourself
Instagram,
right
yeah.
now.
On,
Make self promo.
Lego.joey on Instagram.
There it
You
is.
probably change the name. And right now, change the name so you can still get the shout out, but continue.
it's a good. That's a good
We
point.
take Lego out of the name.
Yeah. Have you
Yeah.
tried Brikx.joey?
No, don't use
Joey
bricks.
Don't do it.
Productions.
There's
No,
too
it's
many
more
bricks.
Studs.
There's too many bricks.
Joey builds
No
stuff.
studs, no bricks, nothing with the contraption
Don't
whatsoever.
use
Joey
Lego
builds
either.
Joey builds stuff.
Yeah, Joey builds stuff.
I like that.
Joey, it's my time. What is Joey time? It's my time.
Joey with the bricks.
Yeah.
Hey, see?
If you want to go far, you can do like
The Joey architect.
architect. Yeah.
Do everything.
The
Yeah, I-
plastic designer.
The plastic Joey.
The plastic-
Hey, the plastic designer.
I feel like
though.
that gives a connotation you don't necessarily want to apply to yourself.
I think Joey means like kangaroo or something.
Yeah.
Really, doesn't
No,
it?
a Joey.
Isn't it a baby kangaroo?
That's the
You
name
still
of
means in Australia.
I don't know. It's the stupidest thing I think I've ever said.
I mean, it could be worse. You could have asked if Merlin was named
Interesting.
after the wizard.
Bro, it is.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Magic.
So you're able to build technically whatever you want. Are you like
That was
given like overall team ideas of what needs to be built for the day? Like let's say like we need to build this new giant minifigure and it has to look like Bionicle somehow.
Hmm.
Is that like a plan, or do you have like plans of like this day we're gonna do this week we're gonna do this, next week we're gonna do that, this week we have no plan, let's build whatever we want in Miniland?
So day to day, I kind of find projects that I would like to accomplish, but we have things planned throughout the year that like different scavenger hunts is something that we're discussing right now throughout the year for different like holidays and things. We'll be hiding things through Miniland for people to go and find. We had Easter eggs out for people to find, and as a team, that was something we all worked on. We each designed a couple different Easter eggs. And Sans question.
Yes. Do you only do activities for real holidays, aka American holidays, or do you also participate in other less popular and less fun holidays?
Just the real major holidays for now.
Real major holidays. That's what I like to hear. Continue on.
I was gonna say, because we're like a newer park, we only opened last year. We haven't had too many really big things asked of the model shop team yet during the install phase, which was something that we were really involved in, putting all of the models, in the ground, basically attaching them where they belong in Miniland and stuff throughout the park and all that. But once they were put in place, there was a lot of repair work that was needed to be done after they were installed.
What does that entail? What is like repair work? Like, do you show up with like a cart that has like Lego bricks in it and glue? Like, it just doesn't see it. And like what is like a repair cart Lego sculpture?
Never even
like?
said anything about a repair cart.
Can't we just start with like how this is built before we repair it? Like, so you have design, you put it together, and then you glue it somehow. Do you glue brick by brick, or do you like spray it? Like,
is there any
brick by brick?
You glue brick.
You just have them 3 different
What if you messed up? You like smack it and start from scratch?
You gotta peel it off of there, make it right.
Oh. That's the key. You tried not to mess up.
When you repair it, going back to Claire's questions, you bring a cart of bricks and glue.
Well, there's solvent.
So a lot of times, if the repairs that we have to do involve like broken pieces, we got to get those broken pieces out of there. And I learned pretty early on in the job that there's a lot more butchering of Lego than I expected. We're going in there with hammer and chisels and saws, and
it's like surgery
and all that. Yes,
surgery is a lot more
plastic surgery. That's what it is.
Plastic surgery. Oh my god.
Yep.
Are there rules to like how your models are supposed to be built, like bricks to like use or not use, or how to use them, all that kind of stuff? Because it looks like they're just bricks.
Yeah,
like 2x4 bricks or 2x2 bricks or anything like that.
Are you talking about the really big ones though? Right?
Yeah.
We try and keep it to like a very like classic kind of style. And I've talked about before that when I build at home versus when I build at work, it feels like I'm speaking two different languages.
Yeah.
Right.
Kind of. It's just like a completely different thing. And that's just the very, classic blocky styles to make it feel, very, very nostalgic Lego, and make that consistent feel throughout Miniland. Yeah.
Do not you specifically, but does Legoland order the parts that they use, or does Lego just give them the parts they need? And if they do order it, how do they go about asking for parts that aren't necessarily in mass production?
I don't know how much I can say about it, but we have like a list of parts we can order, and we just choose what we want and what's in our budget and all that.
Pretty much like any other Lego.
As far as like the people in Miniland, is there a certain like a blueprint you're supposed to follow?
Yeah, so the Minilanders are generally 9 or bricks 10 tall. 9 or 10 bricks tall is kind of the standard for adult Minilanders.
So is Minilander size part of Lego canon, and is it relative to the minifig? Like, because you did a whole video on like minifigs versus mini doll, but like you didn't mention at all.
Like, I wasn't talking about other scales. There's
been very few cases in which Lego has released sets that have Minilanders in them.
There are a couple other sets of Minilanders in it. That's
actually cool. One recent example is I think one of the sets that's exclusive to the Lego house has a Minilander of one of the designers.
The original lady that designed a lot of the models in the first Legoland. I know her.
One of the few examples where a Minilander was in.
No. I don't recall her name, but Lego has a whole article about her on their website, especially now with the new set that just came out. But she was the first master model builder.
Oh, okay.
And she did a lot of the early builds for the first Legoland.
I love the mini landers. I think they look so good. Like I love their aesthetic. I love a bunch of them together. Like they look great. And yeah, I think isn't there one in the Lego employee like gift with or the Christmas gift? The like one of it had like the different like diorama. It was like a mechanism or whatever. Anyway, whatever. But it's very very cool. I like the whole aesthetic of them. I think they look great.
Lego doesn't care if you guys do Lego military Lego mini landers. Right?
It's
because
something
you guys done it like at mine, and you have the President's Own, which is the President's Marching Band.
Yeah.
Those are all Marines, and then you have the Marine Memorial too, which I love. So that's straight up military. So I was just curious that that's allowed.
Maybe it's
yeah, it's something we kind of avoid, like Lego does, for the same reasons. We just kind of trying to stay away from those topics, I guess.
It's like hard to do like a mini DC though without doing something, you know.
We do have some like the war memorials and stuff.
Yeah, the Marine Memorial's there. So
we have the marching band by the Capitol building.
Yep.
But you don't have like Arlington Cemetery or whatever. Like that would be
no. More so like a tank.
Yeah.
No, like military vehicles or anything like that.
Has any of the mini landers done any of the Air Force One helicopters?
Yes.
That's a military helicopter.
Marine One.
That's cool.
Yeah,
you gotta Shy, you gotta get your hands on
You get that.
The design.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's one of the models in Miniland that's animated. You press a button and it like lifts up.
Yeah. Are the mini lands at each Legoland basically the same, just like laid out differently?
They do share a lot of the same models.
The same model. Okay.
They're all, like you said, laid out pretty differently.
At least like all the U.S. ones are all the same. Like they have all the specific areas, like
major
California,
US.
Vegas.
Yeah, I was thinking.
Then when you go to different countries, you have what's related to that country, correct?
Exactly.
I've only been to California, so yeah.
I've only
They're
been
pretty similar.
California is similar to Florida.
It felt bigger though. I don't know.
California and Florida have very similarly laid out mini lands where you can kind of see all the different clusters. They're all kind of bunched together in the same area. But ours is different from that in that it's like a walking path. You walk down the hill back and forth.
Okay. As opposed to just kind of plopped and just kind of walk around it.
It's a lot more spread out.
Okay.
Did they do that on purpose just to like traffic people through, or?
Yeah, sort of, because the park is built on a hill. That was kind of necessary that the path kind of crisscrosses back and forth to get you down the hill.
It's like a giant Lombard.
So conceptually, it's different because it's like a road trip. They call it. Each cluster is named like Road Trip Atlantic, which is where we have DC, Philly, Boston, and then Road Trip Middle America, which is like Texas, Louisiana, Chicago, and then Road Trip Pacific is California stuff. So it's not like specific cities; they're just kind of grouped together in like regional.
How interconnected are the 3 Legolands in North America, and is there some sort of priority list of importance from the different amusement parks? Are they all seen at the same level by Lego or Merlin?
They're all on the same level. I wish there was a little bit more communication between the different parks. Like, we're not really in contact with the other model shops too much, which would be something that's kind of cool.
Do all the Lego? I don't know if you guys can all answer this, but do all the Lego parks have the Lego movie basement in their locations?
No.
Was that gone when you guys went?
It wasn't. They never had it in Florida.
No. I'm talking about in California because.
No, California still had it when we went.
Cool. Awesome.
Oh, you're just asking for yourself, not about.
Yes. Because I only care about that, and I don't care about anything else.
That's actually like the one thing we didn't go look at in California.
No, it's cool if anybody's like in the California or able to visit that one. I don't know if it's still there. That's the thing. But
I never saw that one.
Yeah, it has the Lego movie basement, like whole setup.
Like
so I was gonna ask, like, did you at least get to play with those minifigures or build similar ones in your location or your park? Because that would be actually pretty cool. But I guess not. Never mind. Just kidding.
I have built some Lego Movie 2 stuff. I built a mini lander of
Emmett?
Sweet Mayhem
Oh, cool.
Nice.
Lego Movie
Yeah.
2. That's actually going to be part of a like an Area 51 scene that we're
What?
putting in the rocks outside of Vegas.
That's so fun. I love that. So, like, if in case anybody doesn't know, Miniland has like a lot of like very like subtle jokes that I think are really appropriate because it's like kids. Nothing is. It's not. Nothing is. Everything is kid friendly, but there's like stuff for adults to also enjoy as they're like walking through. And there's like there'll be references to pop stars and like historical figures and things like that. That it's really fun that you don't really get to see in like a Lego set. So it's really fun.
I feel like that's something that you'll see in a lot of large mocks. That like
Yeah.
people like to throw Easter eggs with little things. I mean, like at least yeah, because I know Lego does it, or Legoland does it. But I know a lot of people who, when they display, they put stuff for you to find and things like that. I mean, Claire, did you look at the battleship Easter eggs when you were at the store?
I didn't look at it.
Okay, there are some.
And
other
I
kind of
wasn't
references.
there.
Dang.
I was socializing.
You were. It was cool. Anyways,
So
yes.
how does that process go, Joey? Like, if you wanted to throw an Easter egg in there,
Mhm.
could you
It's
just
the
do
same
that?
kind
or
of thing, right? Just ask my boss, like,
Same thing. Oh, okay.
hey, can I
Oh,
do
so
this?
everything has to be approved.
Because
Oh.
we all go looking through Miniland on the regular, and if somebody
There's
saw
no
something
way.
here, be like, who put this here?
Yeah. Who did this?
So I know you've been considering adding a new section to represent the state of Ohio. Have you been looking for any people to say be some sort of liaison and give you some inspiration or ideas of important
Yeah.
places in Ohio to really represent the right appropriate things?
And by right, he means the Wright brothers.
I didn't.
Nice.
But I thought it works
Nice.
on that level.
Nice pun.
If you say no, you're a terrible person.
I mean,
Would
you don't
you
need
like
much,
to be
right? Just
our
be the
Ohio
land and the
liaison?
plane.
What
I
are the biggest
love
landmarks in
to be-
Ohio that we must include in
There's
Miniland?
Corn. There's the Wright
Corn.
brothers.
The band?
And
Where's the Corn Palace? Is that Ohio? We have the
Huh?
Corn Palace, and I don't know where that is.
The Corn Palace is in Kansas, I think.
Okay.
Darn.
It's a palace made of corn. It might no, it's somewhere in the like nobody
But
ever
not
actually
Ohio.
goes there area. It might
So
be.
there's nothing, is what you're saying.
Is there a
There's no
correct way to eat corn? I don't know. Thinking out loud. I'm sorry.
Elotes?
I love
Like a typewriter. That's how.
Typewriter. See?
So do you primarily just stay in Miniland like for the most of your week, or do you like venture out to like other parts and see if they're okay, and like you check up on like builds?
So
or,
every
like,
morning we go through the whole park. We check every model.
what are the models that are in the middle of the water that you can't just like swim to?
There,
Uh,
it's this deep.
Hey, I'm
No,
just gonna
we
say you
need
don't
have-
a life raft and
we
swim
have
it
some
paddle out
models
there.
down at the bottom of the water basins in Miniland. Like somebody on our team built a whole little like community of mermaids that's down on the bottom of the basin by Coney Island.
So when you
and-
drain it, there's like something down there.
What?
So if you drain it, there's
You,
like
you can see down to the bottom of the water. You can see that stuff down there.
How often are those pools cleaned out?
Every couple weeks or months or something. They do get drained a couple times a season.
So not often enough. Because another thing we saw in Florida were just
Oh my god.
tons of leaves mucking up the water. I gotta say, so far your organization / association has not been very impressive. And I know the different parks are not necessarily super tied together, but I feel like we can all say do better.
we brought
Thank you. I like that. Sounds
Okay, James. Yes, sir.
good.
Yeah, I was gonna input that he's talking about New York and you're talking about Florida. This is not fair.
Okay, yeah, and to be
Yeah,
fair, we
it's-
haven't been to New York. We haven't been to New York.
Completely
And-
different
and
teams. of
fair.
people.
Did you
We
watch
operate
Emily's
differently.
To
vlog?
be fair, 99.8% of everyone on this blue planet do not know the difference between Lego and Legoland.
It's true.
And or
Right.
Mega Blocks.
Stans, you'll be happy to hear on our model shop team trip to Florida, our main takeaway was that we need to do better than they are doing.
Nice.
Oh,
We
yeah,
saw
yeah.
their Miniland and we're like, this is kind of dirty and old and we need to we don't ever want to be like this. So
You guys are also like
not
starting
to
off-
not to throw any shade at if anybody works at Legoland Florida. I'm sorry.
no,
And
but
if you do, it's not a
Kansas
problem to
right
do
here.
better.
Yeah, no, it's all good.
to
Always
be
improve.
fair,
Yeah.
to be fair though, like you guys are starting off at an advantage. It's a newer park, so it's not
Yeah.
going to have as much damage to it or whatever. And if you guys are like
Right.
young,
At one point,
what is the
Florida was a new park, though.
true? What's like the turnaround? Like, and people in your position, like, are there some people who just like stay doing it forever? Is that like something you grow into? Is that like would you like keep going and do more like toy industrial design? Like what do you, just on a personal level, I guess I'm
What's
curious.
your overall goal?
What's your
my-
final opinion?
My plans are I would like to move to Denmark someday and work at Lego.
Mhm.
Oh, so are you gonna sell all your Lego too to all your friends?
No, I
Before you
think
move?
I would probably try and bring all of it, which would be
Wait,
a
okay.
really huge undertaking. I brought all of my Lego from California.
I was
and
gonna
I had
say,
to rent a U-Haul trailer and completely fill it up because I have a sizable collection.
You didn't
Sure.
break your stuff down, though. You didn't break your sets up.
no,
though.
but he got rid of.
I did. I took
every-
everything apart.
I thought,
I
yeah,
did.
and he also got rid of like when I was talking to you about it, you're like, yeah, I got rid of all my clothes. I just took my Lego.
I mean, I have way more Lego than clothes.
So when did you
Simple.
move with all of your parts still organized in whatever container system that you have?
Yeah.
Okay, that's why it took up so much space. Because I'm not trying. I don't know. It's not a competition, but I feel like you don't have that much more than me.
So it's not a competition.
Oh my God.
It took
But-
a whole,
How many sets you got, Sans?
it took an SUV to move his stuff out here, and we had to leave all of his storage bins. That like all his sorting bins, we couldn't take any of
I
them.
filled a U-Haul trailer.
Yeah, but you still had your stuff in your storage bin.
So therefore, oh my god, I'm sure he had.
Basically, he's saying he had a lot of negative space, so it doesn't count.
No
I'm
negative.
not saying it doesn't count. I'm just comparing sizes.
He just wants to make
Why
sure.
do you gotta compare sizes?
Wow, Sans, you took it there, huh?
Well, it is episode 69.
You got brick set, bro?
This is true.
I do actually, but it has not been updated in like 3 years, and
I keep mine super updated. I have
Oh,
1300
here we
sets.
go.
Well, it's getting dangerous now because we have a combined brick set now.
Ooh.
Ooh, Claire
That's
just said
why
you
I'm
cheated,
not
Sans.
There now.
year and a half.
Mm-hmm.
What is your dream theme to like
how, many,
design for?
how many sets did you
No.
have? 1,300?
Shy.
You have 1,300?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Continue.
just take it over. It's
All
fine.
right, continue.
It's a lot.
No,
It's-
whatever.
Don't worry.
Oh, okay, fine. What I was saying before, before Sans was still wanting to see how big his sets were in comparison to yours.
Comparing sizes.
It's not a competition, guys. You guys have extremely large sets. How about that? Let's just leave it at that.
Everyone can
what
have
is-
large collections.
What is the dream theme you would want to be a part of if you were to be hired by the Legos 9 team?
I don't know if I could say. I would be happy working on a lot of different teams. I collect Star Wars, Marvel, a lot of different licensed themes would be really fun to work on, I'm sure. Like with licensed themes, I think one of the coolest things would be to see the movie and reference material early.
And then
And
like
then they
copyright.
changed it on you.
Yeah, and then you
Yeah.
change it.
You're like-
Everybody hates
and then
you.
we have Brian from M&R Productions like destroy your Lego set for not being accurate.
I'm
Oh,
sure
man.
it would happen.
I think you're confident that will happen.
I would work extra hard to not piss off Ryan M&R Productions.
Oh no.
Yeah,
No,
I don't
no.
think you realize
I
how
mean, I hope
hard
you
that is to
do.
Yeah, I would just
just
leave
for
him-
that.
Just piss him off because he'll still get lots of views. So
It's
it's
for the
fine.
views,
It
right?
Yeah,
works.
he wins either way,
Content.
Exactly.
right or
Yes.
wrong.
Well, he's got a minilander in Miniland.
Oops.
Do you?
Okay.
I wonder who put it there.
Super flex.
I put it there, guys. I put it there. I was the one that did it.
You could add other people at any point if you wanted to.
Well, if you give me a branded tile, I will put it on.
You
a
know what?
figure.
We will give you a better thing. It's called a Cali Brick Click 1x8.
No,
Uh-huh.
that's no.
Mic drop. Don't drop the mic though. It's bad.
What if I get you a printed what is that, like the 8x16 tiles or whatever? What are those big ones?
Oh, the
Ooh.
chunky boys.
Yeah, one of the big tiles, not what Shy had. That's garbage. But one of the big
No, it's
tiles,
not.
is like my YouTube.
I don't know if I
link.
could fit that on a figure.
Would you put it in as like a billboard?
A billboard?
Yeah, with like my YouTube link on it.
No, I don't think I could.
Make a QR code.
There you go, QR codes.
People at conventions build the brick QR codes, right?
Seeing that,
Yeah,
yeah, that's
yeah.
really cool. Yeah, that would be funny.
I mean, if you put it in, I'll do
just a
whatever.
QR code
See.
directly to your YouTube channel or something.
I don't think I would be allowed to promote
What?
it.
Okay, hear me out. What if you make a build of whatever or whatever type of building that you want to do, and subtly put a QR code in there so it's not noticeable or as noticeable?
Ninja style.
No one can even see it. How about that?
Unless you know it's there.
We have a camera that points down from the top of Freedom Tower.
Oh, so it should be easy.
So maybe I can put it on top of a building, and if you're looking through a little camera, be like, "Hey, what is that QR code?"
Only the security guards that has access to that one camera can see that.
Every sub helps.
Which reminds me, do you guys like when you guys want? You probably haven't yet, but like a lot of the sets in like at least our miniland in California should probably be replaced due to like sun wear and all that kind of stuff. So like when's like a decision made where like, hey, we should probably change out this whole dragon?
It's on a case by case basis.
Mm.
You know, working at a new park, we don't have any experience with anything getting sun damage that bad yet. I don't know how long that will take. We don't.
Future.
6 months?
Future problems.
No, like 5
7
years plus.
5 years plus?
Yeah.
Do you have like a color chart of like okay, slightly not okay, slightly really not okay, like bad, really bad? This is sun damage. It's falling apart. Then exchange. That might be Florida's QR code. Or like.
So when the White House is yellow,
Yes, exactly.
that's like
It's like when when white starts to look like pearl gold.
It's like a paint.
Certain colors fade a lot worse than others. Like
And then-
white, like you said, turns yellow. Orange is another bad one that gets faded
Okay.
pretty bad.
And just thinking about like the surgery thing you were talking about, because in California you could kind of tell the discoloration of some bricks. Like, okay,
when there are
because now
there's
just
some repair jobs done.
yeah, it just
Yeah.
clicked to me like, okay, so they must have done some surgery.
So instead
right
of doing
there.
like one wall of a building, you know, like it's like kind of this, like 3 walls are all still faded, but the other walls all
Yep.
brand new.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like 3
if
bricks.
we have to replace a broken brick on an older model, it'll look a lot brighter and fresher.
So like inside your models, like how much structure is inside them for the large ones?
They have a good amount of bracing inside of them. Yeah.
Out of metal or more
like,
Lego?
like
No,
steel.
brick.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah,
so
there's-
so there's no metal inside the giant sculptures.
There is on any building over like 6 feet, they'll have a steel post
mhm.
up through the middle.
And that's
So
not
how
it.
about like
Everything else is just brick
okay, it's
bracing going across.
with like the big life,
Sure.
like 1-to-1 figures, like Chewbacca and stuff.
I think those are made by Lego themselves,
Mm.
which
massive.
Yeah,
they're-
but those do have like a steel
support.
armature.
they're like a
Yeah.
skeleton.
yeah,
skeleton.
there's not too many of those. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you guys are just steel rod. Let me build around it so many times that it doesn't fall apart.
Let's just pour some concrete in this thing. It'll hold up.
Well, I think like the interlocking system that you guys use in the middle.
I mean, you
Helps
gotta
a
give
lot.
it to like the
I've seen
San
something about it.
Diego Legoland for withstanding all those earthquakes and everything's fine. No,
I don't know. that's
Well, if
different.
we can build buildings to withstand it, I would hope that we can build a Lego sculpture. That
Yeah, but how are the
I don't
Lego?
know. Have you guys played Jenga? Pretty tough.
I mean,
I haven't built any
one thing.
buildings. The buildings are something that we were sent on install. A lot of the larger buildings models in Miniland are built at a different shop.
Mhm.
It's a big production shop in Florida, and
Mhm.
they build the buildings that get sent to all the different parks.
Right. So like you're
Mm.
not going to build you don't build everything in your
Yeah, we don't have the resources on site in our park to build
You're more of
all
like
of
a
the gigantic
support team.
buildings.
Yeah, you're like the support team for the park itself.
Yeah, and after everything's been installed, that's when
Mhm.
we go in and we add all our own little fun details and stuff.
Right. And it makes each part unique from the rest. Would you ever like go work at another Legoland, like one abroad or something?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
cool.
that'd be fun
Hmm.
for sure.
So all the models built on any of the Legolands are from Merlin employees, not from the Lego Group,
Um, for the
'cause you-
most part,
for the most part. I'm sure
there's a
they give you stuff.
couple like promotional models that start out as something that Lego makes in
Uh-huh.
house. Um, like we have one that's a big dragon taxi,
Hmm.
and Lego did make that. That was in New York City for a little while to promote the park, and it kind of like moved around the city, and you had to go find where it was as like part of a scavenger hunt.
Oh, okay. So like they're really big builds, like the Lamborghini or Bugattis, like those
Yeah,
types of
like
stuff
that.
where they move them, like they're like nomad builds. They'll bring them to like Legoland parks and stuff like that.
They're like
Mhm.
traveling shows. Yeah.
Mhm. That's
Yeah,
cool.
but that one is now in our park, and I've
Forever.
made a couple different versions, like smaller versions of that model. There's one in Miniland, like a scaled down Miniland scale version of that.
Did you build it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in your Instagram.
Uh-huh.
Nice.
And I have one that I wear as my name tag. It looks like the Dragon Taxi, but it's got my name on it. And something I'm working on right now at home is like a mech version of it, a Dragon Taxi mech.
That'll be really fun.
The many people that come into Legoland, a lot of the amusement park ongoers, do they ever comment or complain even about the cheaper feel of Legoland, especially compared to other amusement parks such as Disney, or even Lego's brand themselves, how they produce or how they like have this image of like the premium? I'm not saying this to make fun of him, but like there is definitely a difference between Lego and Legoland that, or like Disney and Disney, or Disney and Legoland, that is super obvious.
I don't really know how to answer that question.
To be fair, Joey, we know that
Legoland and Disney are different things.
Well, not just, okay,
Yeah,
then
but
ignore Legoland and Disney, but like Lego and Legoland, there is definitely a difference in how,
There's a disconnect.
yeah, there's a disconnect and disparity between the two. Does anyone ever come in and say anything, or like do you ever overhear it, or through the customer complaints box if there's one of those?
but like why
How would he know that?
I don't know,
how would he know that? Yeah, I feel like
Oh, because you just work with
I'm
back
not on like the
don't
guest
listen or pay attention to other rumors or gossip. Come on, I'm sure people talk.
spill the tea.
Spill
Okay,
that.
so can you tell the
I
difference
have
between
never-
a Lego?
overheard any conversations in the park specifically about how Legoland compares to
Yeah.
Lego as a concept.
So the thing is like a lot of people will be, because of the general area of both Legoland Florida and Legoland California, they are relatively near to the Disney
Oh
parks.
no!
And so
no, those are different parks. That's not a good.
You don't
question to
wanna
answer.
talk- you
I
wanna
know,
do
but
the
just
Lego?
like, just how
Lego.
the quality that Lego likes to present themselves, how they want to show themselves as like the premier toy that you should get, and they're much more expensive than most other toys. And then when you go to Legoland, it doesn't have that quite same
Is
product. Like
I think he's
quality
talking
Lego
about like
product.
is this about llama?
maybe.
But we can talk about
So mad.
like
So I think I will like maybe like put a few like caveats onto this. This is separate from Miniland. Miniland is very cool. No one is insulting your craft or like what it is that you're doing. I think it's more of like a commentary on a theme park experience. And so, you know, Lego as a company and as a toy manufacturer is like top tier. It's considered one of the best toys out there, and it's the best all the time. It's always voted for it, you know. But like Legoland doesn't really come up, or it does come up. I think people try to compare it to other theme parks. So it's like it doesn't have like this. You go there and like the customer service experience is not the same as like picking up the phone and calling Lego for customer support. You know, because it's a different company. Like Merlin is fundamentally a different company than Lego, and so it's operated differently. And so you have benefits and negatives from both ends. But it's just like the disconnect for, I think, fanatic fans like us here is very, very apparent. I don't know if it is like for other people, because like other parents and stuff are taking their kids of a specific
Well, I think
demographic and stuff.
noticed
So
that's also partially because Lego as a company is, you know, on the path of catering more to adults,
mhm.
and Legoland is a very kid-centered
Right.
experience.
Yeah.
Right. So, but and I think like, yeah, so like Lego as a product inherently And now the direction they're going with is like, they're like, we have products for all ages and like that are targeted. It's not just like you can enjoy every single one of our product at all age, which, you know, a lot of us can argue that, but there's a box for everybody theoretically, but that doesn't really, Legoland itself doesn't do that, even though there are other theme parks that do that. They're like, okay, there's a whole family coming. Let's cater to the whole family. And while maybe that's where we feel a little bit lost. Also, like, what? You don't think so?
They
I
have
feel
beer where Castle's at. I'm totally fine with that.
I
I
feel
have
like
my beer. I sit down.
I'm
And
really
I'm good.
asking about the difference for adult experience over children or a child's experience. More so, just like it feels crappier compared to the actual
Yeah, but you can't just
products.
say you.
But I
get
guess
that.
you can't answer because you're an employee. But I don't know if I were you, I'd complain.
Okay, so are Lego Discovery Centers, like, do you feel a big difference between that and a Lego store? I've
Yeah.
never been to one, so I wouldn't know.
Yeah, they're essentially super shrunk down versions of Legoland.
Well,
Yeah, so do you feel
As-
like the
well, hold on.
store?
Hold on. As Lego.joey, if it's okay to share, has worked at both.
Well, both what? I worked at a Lego store.
Yeah, you worked at a Lego store and you work at Legoland, which
Yeah.
is like, I don't know anybody who's done both. So tell
Um,
if you would
Okay.
so like what would you like compare, like how would you compare the experiences, I guess, as like a
my experience as an employee.
well, because the thing is like you're right now it's hard to do that because you're no longer customer facing, right? So you're no longer like in a position where you're like trying to create an experience for someone. You're trying to create an environment for someone
Yeah,
to live
so when I
this
worked at the Lego store, I was retail. You
Right.
know, it was guest service all day,
right.
and now it's design work, and I'm building.
Right, so you're totally in the back. Okay, so from our perspective as the guest still, it is going into like even just the store at the Lego, like the store at Legoland, it's like a different company. Do you know what I mean? That just happens to sell it, which is like, you know, like the customer service is not great. The people are, you know, like they're typical disgruntled retail employees. While you go to the Lego store and it's like people are like, they're born to work there. You know what I mean? Like everyone is like so excited. And so
I'm sure it depends what Lego store you go to.
Yeah,
I've been to,
Lego
let me
store.
tell you, I've been to a lot. Bring up the passport. No, it's like we've been to a lot.
Snap at me.
Yeah, I did. I'm sorry.
I
No,
wouldn't say
Nobody's in the
everybody
store
who works
today.
at a Lego store was born to do that.
I don't
No,
know.
but
When I think of
we buying
Legoland, though, I
stuff
think of
for?
miniland.
That
Yeah,
I
that's
just had to throw that out there.
That's all I think
'Cause
about. That's
that's-
all I care about.
that's smart.
I can be very proud about what I do in Miniland specifically.
Nice. Yeah.
That's the best part.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. That's the best.
I
part.
only need an hour there, and then I'm totally good.
Chill. Why aren't you crapping all over your employers that are definitely probably not going to watch this?
No,
I mean,
look, I'm gonna be real. Look, we're going to Legoland on Friday. I'm happy that we only have to be there for 4 hours because that's all the time we need for my kids to enjoy it and be done with it.
Right. My kids jumped
Yeah,
on
but,
that.
like,
that.
For adults
Jungle
going
Gym
into
and
Park
that's it.
Miniland is definitely the main thing
Yeah,
Yeah.
that you're going to spend time looking at because
that's
you know
for
lots of
kids.
different theme parks have
Yeah.
little kids rides and stuff, but you're
Yeah,
not going to
exactly.
see the scaled down Lego cities anywhere else.
Plus, it's
No.
Lego, right? You're like, I want to see
Yeah.
Lego. I didn't
I
come to
know
see a
Legoland,
dragon
see the Lego.
ride.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Not
yeah,
the ride.
exactly. And go to the big store
That.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there you
that,
go.
and possibly find something to get that you can't get anywhere else. Possibly.
Wait, so do you guys have a like a pick a brick wall as well in New York?
Yeah.
Do Q-Bricks ever make it to that like it did?
No.
Florida? Okay.
The one in Florida, I don't know what's going on there. They had the craziest stuff. That was like you, Sans. I was just looking at the wall like, what the heck is this stuff doing here?
bags that had parts from like the late 90s and early 2000s.
The little bags of just all mixed whatever. It's
Yeah, and then
it's
we
fucking
asked,
insane. Where'd
we
this come
asked them,
from?
they're like, "Oh, this is the stuff that we pick up off the floor," and
It's
we're
like,
like,
in 2005,
Uh,
off the floor. 1998. I'm sorry. Who are you trying to lie to?
I bought one of those bags just because I saw a red clam in it. And I was like,
I wanted to buy
never
several.
came
They
in
had,
one set.
they had chrome parts in it. They had the old hinge parts that haven't been used since the
Yeah.
90s. They had
Oh,
Avatar
You found
printed
Avatar.
parts in there. They had SpongeBob parts in there. It was
the Gary shells.
yeah, it was super wacky.
In Anaheim, they pulled out a little a tackle box full of parts like that.
No,
'Cause
but these
they
were
were
just
like-
bags that they were selling,
You
like
know how they-
$25 bags
Yeah, you
of
know how
random
they-
Oh,
parts.
dang. Okay.
Yeah, and
never
they said
mind.
they were used and washed. Those suckers are brand new. There was not a scratch on them.
I'm
Something
confounded
there,
by
it's
those
like
bags.
it's like a weird Bermuda Triangle. There's definitely like a time suck there, you know.
I also bought a Ice Planet minifigure torso from I think the Anaheim location and the Build a minifigure. So
What?
you-
Like one of the old ones, or
no, one of the new ones they never made.
well, that the Chinese New Year ice skating set has an ice.
No. It's one of the
Closer, maybe.
What?
yeah.
Do you see that?
That's
So I don't know if that was like one of the minifigures
Weird.
that were swapped out by a person that went in and like, it just somehow fell into there. But
And
they
this
were
was
also
where?
selling a bucket full of capes, which I've never seen on any
What?
building.
It could be.
JB bought
Oh,
like
yeah.
a
JD,
tab cup.
yeah, he bought a crap ton of capes,
What
I
color
don't
were
know
the
about
capes?
the capes.
brown and black in several different sizes, like short
They're like-
and long.
Were they the old papery ones or the fabric?
Yeah, they were the papery ones.
Is that Ice Planet
might
torso
be
brand new?
Shy, it was in Carlsbad.
What ninja?
Is that torso brand new?
It's pretty solid. It doesn't look like it has had any significant wear.
I was thinking maybe a kid came in and swapped it.
That's what he was thinking too.
I thought maybe it was one of the minifigures that were swapped off of
But,
employees.
yeah, so when you trade torsos, so like
Mitch,
Oh,
I
yeah.
have a question for you, two-part question. The first part is, if you wear minifigures, or even like when you're out working on, I don't know if you wear minifigures or not, but are you still supposed to swap minifigures even though you're not one of the employees that are out in their normal uniforms?
Yeah, so technically, all of the Legoland employees' uniform, you're required to have a minifigure on your brick badge as like part of the uniform. I don't. Like, I'm usually not even wearing a brick badge when I go out into the park because it's not as necessary for us.
All right.
Very behind the scenes.
Follow-up question. This is more relevant towards the two other parks, and I know you're more familiar with the one in California than Florida, but the minifigure selections are hot garbage. Do they ever like clear that out and like start fresh or something? Because the minifigures in there are random assorted piles of poop that don't even have proper prints on them because they've been scratched off. And it's kind of insulting to have that as one of the promoted things to do in Legoland, to go there only to find what has less value than a rock.
Okay, minifigures where specifically?
Both Legoland and Orlando and
But
California.
Like where are you talking about? Where do you find these pigs?
In both California and Florida.
Yeah, where?
Where?
Where in the park?
Both figures that people wear, and then like the big minifigure walls that they have to trade with.
Yeah, so I mean, those figures, a lot of them come from the guests, and they stick around to be traded. Like that's where you end up with some of the older stuff.
I know, but they're all so bad. Is there at any
It's like
point
Disney
they
pins.
just like do a refresh and like, okay, open up some minifigure packs and put them on the wall because this is just atrocious.
You know how? I mean, so he just said it earlier. Like how they get pieces is through ordering stuff. So someone has to be on top
Yeah,
of
stuff
ordering.
gets ordered in like bulk minifigure.
And then
parts.
hopefully that goes out, but it doesn't go out. I guess we can presume that they're not, the changeover between Brikx isn't quick enough to be noticed.
So, speaking of minifigures, I don't know if you know or if you can say this. Is there a reason why you guys don't use minifigures and you use the minilanders?
In Miniland. So the Legoland Discovery Centers actually do have minifigure scale Miniland. I don't know why there's a difference between the two, where ours is Miniland scale and theirs isn't. I think it's probably because people are more likely to go in and steal minifigures, or because mini-landers are easier to customize and what fans.
The first Legoland had the builds before minifigures were made, so they did their own thing, and then you know how Lego likes to stay steeped in their tradition. They just continued on with it. I don't know about the Legoland Discovery Center difference, but they didn't have minifigures at the time, so that's just the scale they went with. Probably because they could be customized so much. Thank you, Joey.
Yeah, and it makes scaling easy because everything in Miniland is like 1:25 scale, and so that kind of like sets a standard.
Ooh, I do have a question. So I saw a news video article thing about someone getting a job as a Lego model, model master builder, and then I looked up the location that he was in because he said he was working for Legoland, and I know that there are a few different types of master model builders. There's a couple different variations, whether or not they work at Legoland or work for Lego proper, or even the ones that go around and travel for conventions and shows. But he said he was one at Legoland, and I looked up in the area, and he was a model master builder at Legoland Discovery Center. Do they have their own? Because he hyped it up, saying like, "Oh, there was only 15,000 people applied for this position. I'm the only one that got it. Therefore, I'm like the greatest shit since ever produced." Do they also have master model builders, and are they lesser human beings because they don't work at the proper Legoland parks? You don't have to answer the second one. I'm just that guy really annoyed me.
They're building different scales.
At Legoland Discovery Centers, they do have master model builders. And I think for some reason that's like the name of their position, but for whatever reason, that's not our job title. But I mean, we basically do the same thing. So I think we're all considered master model builders in the same sense. One person in our model shop team now at Legoland New York was a master model builder at one of the LDCs, and he moved.
Can you give that the acronym, like say it out loud for people that don't know? Ninja.
What did I say?
LBC.
Oh, LDC is Legoland Discovery Center.
I didn't know that. I mean, I know what those are, but I didn't realize.
Sorry.
No. It's okay.
I was like,
so
distribution.
No, I just wanted to use Ninja as a scapegoat.
I'm working at a Legoland Discovery Center to working at the model shop at Legoland, and I think that would be considered a step up.
So there are tiered positions then throughout the Legoland company umbrella. This question I had earlier, and you said they were all seen on the same level, but I guess Legoland Discovery Centers are not as qualified.
I mean, would you rather work in a Discovery Center or at a full-fledged Legoland?
I wouldn't want to work at all if I had the option. But if you're asking me specifically, I guess Legoland proper.
I think, that's more of the coveted position. So I guess I'll take one more opportunity to say, if you want to see the kind of builds that I put into the Legoland park every day, check me out on Instagram.
Yes, thank you for closing.
Lego.joey.
The plastic Joey.
Also, what conventions are you going to be going to, Joey?
I will be at Brick World Chicago and Virginia.
Woo!
And I was planning to be at Brikx by the Bay in California, but I don't think I can go to that anymore.
Oh, no.
Why?
We're going.
Yeah, I don't think the plans are going to work out for me.
Okay.
Sure.
But I'll see you in Chicago.
No, it won't. It actually just got canceled.
And Virginia.
And that also got canceled.
No, I didn't.
For us.
Should we roll the music?
Roll that music. Thanks, Joey. Appreciate you. Peace.
Happy to be here. Thank you.
If you see a Benny spaceship popcorn bucket,
What does that look like?
they probably won't have it because they had it on there.
All right, so I was working on building this plastic dragon in a much larger scale.
Oh, cool.